Keith Crane alongside Simon Fuller here on this Championship Sunday as we are bringing you the final holes. I would say 18 holes for these.
But we're not exactly sure, are we,
No,
Keith?
we're not. There's a chance of some weather coming on here, so I know there was a possibility they would maybe play 9 holes, a possibility they would play 11. So we're just going to kind of see what happens here. Once again, today's coverage brought to you by Central Bank.
We make it happen, baby, and they're making this broadcast happen today. And, you know, Keith, we're kind of excited. We're going to see a lot of great golf. You and I were on the course yesterday together in Aurelia, and I promise we wouldn't be golfing on Sunday together.
No, we're not built for that. But we've got 2 former champions going after it here today. This young man in the blue shirt in front of us, that's Corey Matthew. He was a champion 3 years ago. Just talked with Corey. He is in his senior year, I believe going into his senior year at Morningside College, golfing there. And he's facing off against a 4-time champion, J.D. Anderson. So we're following Corey right here. Corey kind of famously walks everything. You think about it, if they get 18 holes in today, that's 72 holes over these yesterday and today, I believe.
Yeah, and I suppose at the collegiate level, that's what they do in the pro-professional level for the most part. And just he's in shape. And, yeah, you and I, Keith, we're going to lose a lot in our swing in hole 3 or 4 if we're walking the course. I know that. We're going to gas out a lot earlier.
You have that correct. And then in the first flight here, we have Aaron Robinson and Colin Mitchell. We'll kind of pull in
Hang out about right here, and I'll jump out of the cart with the camera.
I might pull forward so we can get in front of this cart here a little bit, but we're right behind Corey Matthew here. So Corey going to kind of be challenged a little bit here with this tree. We've got JD on the right side of the fairway here. This is hole number 1. And usually they play 18 here, and that's more than likely, hopefully, Jason Spooner was looking at his radar. He's the tournament director here. Hopefully we can get the full 18 in. This is match play. So if either JD or Corey gets real hot to begin with, you know, it could technically be done in 10 holes. I don't necessarily think that'll happen.
I would agree with that, Keith. We're going to see a couple great golfers going back and forth at it.
That's going to be trouble for Corey. He had to miss the tree on the left here, just in front of us, and
I think he wanted to draw it back in a little bit.
Yeah, he is far right of that green. He's going to be in trouble getting out of that area. And then, not sure if you can see through the folks here. We've got J.D. Anderson on that far side. Simon, how far out do you think they are here? About 175?
I'd say
150?
The 150 markers there, so I'd say about 160 out is where JD's at.
Here's JD's shot. He's right at the pin.
There he is, right off the back. I saw it kind of rolling towards the...
I saw it down.
I did. Thought I saw it flutter.
And now we have one of the championship flight golfers. I'm going to go talk to this young man and see if I can get a name for these other 2.
On the green there, as you can see, it settles nicely right towards the back. It's still rolling. And I believe it just went off the back end. So we'll get ready to go watch some short game action. And if you love golf, you know this is where the scoring is made. So hole 1 in the championship and first flight. I jump back into the cart on the armrest and pull the camera in, and Keith will get me there. Again, thanks to Central Bank for making this coverage happen. I don't know if anybody's in a great spot.
I think this might be the drive here. This is Aaron Robinson.
And I don't know that any of them used their driver. But yeah, this is his tee shot.
So shot number 2 for Aaron. Championship Sunday here at the Sioux Valley Golf Tournament. We're trying to get this in before the weather strikes. That's going to catch the wind a little bit. I think that's going to play pretty nice. I actually think he shot it a little bit long.
Yeah, he's on the green nicely right there. He'll be putting. One on the front, it looks like, one right on the back fringe. And I believe Matthew off to the right yet still got a little chip to go.
So Matthew in just a little bit of trouble here. Try and get up to the left side of this green here so we can see some of this action as it unfolds. Once again, J.D. Anderson, a 4-time champion, taking on Corey Matthew, a 1-time champion. We'll kind of pull up next to the green here. I'm not sure. Yeah. Got one. They're all kind of right around here. So Corey Matthew going to have to chip on here. I'd like to stick it close to get himself back in here. JD is about 5 yards off the front of the green here. Matthew's chip shot. It's going to play real nicely. I think he'll have a nice looking putt there for par. I believe J.D. Anderson will be up next, who will be
right next to us, basically.
JD's such a good golfer. I know he plays in
He's no stranger to this course.
And I know he plays a lot of tournaments all year long. Actually, going right now, it's on the backside, I believe. Putting here is Colin Mitchell.
Oh, he is. You're right. He was just off the green.
That's a long putt. Left it just a little bit short, about 4.5 feet out yet.
But very makeable from there.
Okay, JD to your right here is going to go. This will be his third shot, I believe. Nice chip there for JD. Ooh, ran it right past it. So him and Matthew are going to have about similar putts, I believe, lengthwise, for par here. So this is, see who's going to be the next one up here. JD will mark his ball once again. This is brought to you by Central Bank here in Cherokee. Thanks for making this coverage possible.
Yeah, a lot of fun being out here, Keith. And
yeah.
It always makes me feel like when I'm watching good golf like this that I could go duplicate and it never quite plays.
It never happens. So just waiting here. This is going to be Aaron Robinson. A pretty healthy putt here.
But I believe this is a birdie putt, is it not?
I believe this is, yes. Looks like he gave it enough, ran it right past.
And
so now
you always tell me, Keith, short putts don't go in.
That was advice from Tom Bonenkamp back in my high school golf days.
So now essentially, if we see 4 sunk putts here, that means we're all tied through one.
We're tied through one. And I know they're trying to kind of speed up here a little bit, maybe play a little bit quicker because there is a potential for some hazardous weather to come in.
As you can hear, a little wind in the background, a front kind of, you can feel that front just a little bit behind us.
Here's Corey Matthew for a par putt.
And he drops it.
Sunk it. Going to put a little pressure on JD here. I have a feeling JD and Matthew are just going to go at it all afternoon here. Both these guys just solid.
And keep in mind, they've already played around both these guys this morning.
Yes.
Up to 18 holes, so a lot of golf on Championship Sunday.
Here's JD for his par.
And he drops it as well. So we're tied through one on the championship flight. And,
So we're tied through one.
through one. And he drops it as well. So we're tied through one on the championship flight. And, so now essentially, if we see 4 sunk putts here, that means we're all tied through one.
So
see what happens with our first flight matchup of Aaron Robinson and Colin Mitchell.
I don't know a whole lot about Colin Mitchell or Aaron Robinson. Might have to try and learn about him a little bit as we're golfing here today.
And just a nice little stroke, and he touches her in.
So that puts the pressure on Colin here. So thanks for joining us here, Fuller Digital Solutions. Keith Crane alongside Simon Fuller. We've got the final 18 of the Sioux Valley Tournament. If we can get 18 in, see what the weather does here. Colin left it. So Aaron Robinson takes one.
And on that, Crane will step aside and check from our sponsors here, Central Bank, and get ready to tee off from hole number 2 right after this.
This is Chuck Wilson with Central Bank in Cherokee. At Central Bank, we're proud of the friendly personal service we offer to each of our customers. Whether you're buying a home or planning for retirement, our staff is eager to help you reach your goals. We're your friends and neighbors in Cherokee, so we take pride in providing you with the best possible service. Friendly personal service, one more reason you'll enjoy banking with Central Bank in Cherokee. Central Bank, we make it happen. Member FDIC.
Fuller Digital Solutions, Keith Crane alongside Simon Fuller here, Championship Sunday for the Sioux Valley Golf Tournament. Got a former champion here sitting to our left, Matt Pitts.
Oh, I thought you were going to say to your right.
No.
Oh, shoot.
Maybe Matt knows. Matt, do you know where Aaron or Colin is from? Colin's from Sioux City. Aaron is from Kansas City.
And Aaron up +1.
Aaron's up 1 here.
After 1. Looks like we got some of the consolation golfers up ahead of us, too, so it'll be just a minute before we tee off here.
But, you know, as of right now, Simon, this weather is about what you can... This is pretty much as good as it's going to get today, I think. We'll see what happens. So this is the championship and first flight. Aaron Robinson one up over Colin Mitchell here in the first flight.
3-1.
And in the championship, JD and Corey both went par for par on hole number 1. Now, there was some talk. JD and Corey were kind of speaking with Jason Spooner, the tournament director, beforehand here, just to see, you know, if there's some weather, you know, what are we going to do? There was some discussion about possibly playing 9 holes or 11 holes, but they looked at the radar and they said the plan is right now to get the 18 in. But if you know, if there's a little bit of rain, I think they can kind of you know, survive that. But once you get into the high winds and possible lightning, that's
when they have to shut her down.
That's when you got to take the player safety into effect. And this hole here, this is a long par 5. I think the blue tees might be set up at 523 yards.
That sounds about right. And by the way, that first hole, as it scores on the card, is the hardest on this course, which I always thought there's some hard holes. I never thought that was the hardest, but it's not easy either. It's a long 4.
Yeah. So now we're just kind of waiting. We see just a few golfers conversing here, just waiting for one of these other flights to move along here. We are on the par 5, number 2. Once again, today's coverage brought to you by Central Bank. Thanks for making this happen. Got quite the Fuller Digital setup. We've got a laptop in here, a bunch of cables.
Yeah, we should invite Pitsy over, by the way. He looked over when you said that, and, you know, he could be the guest spokesman, representative from Central. I promise he'd be a better color commentator than I would.
And he's probably a better golfer, too.
Well, that's no question.
Yeah, Pitts actually, Matt took down Johnny Douglas, who qualified, was the low medalist with a 66. Took him out, I believe. That was in the opening round of the championship flight.
Next year we'll have Pitsy in the championship flight as the sponsor and the golfer.
Mic'd up.
Mic'd up. Yeah, that's right. Wireless mic on him.
Might have to mute that wireless
Yeah, I was
mic
gonna say,
depending on the drives.
how's he shooting that day?
We'll see. All right, so Corey Matthew going to step to the tee box here. Looks like they're pretty well clear down the fairway. I know he started off left, but I did not see it down.
There it is. Right. Left. Boy, it is hard to find that in the camera, I'm not going to lie, Keith, when these guys are booming it like they are.
And he did end up in the fairway. So here's JD. That's a straight shot right down the middle for JD.
And you just watch these guys just go up there and confident. They swing and it's straight. Just impressive.
Now we've got Aaron Robinson. Aaron's up one after the first hole here in the first flight. That's going to end up left in the trees. Maybe headed, going to be in the one fairway, probably in front of the tee box over there.
Which I've seen players over there often and have a decent second.
That's you're not in absolute jail over there.
Right. Depends on where you land.
Here's Colin Mitchell. I think he's going to be a little to the left as well. Right side of the trees. So he should be safe. So what we'll do now, we'll follow Mr. J.D. Anderson here for this next shot. Most of the time we're going to get a chance to see everybody tee off. The second shots is kind of, we'll kind of have to pick and choose.
Yeah, we'll reposition the camera, but we'll try to give you some good angles.
Well,
like you said on the second hole, Keith, if you are left, depending on where it ends up, you do have a decent opportunity because on the right side of this fairway, you've got trees that really block your approach. If you can get an approach or an opening, you still at least have an opening towards the green as it opens up to the left side on the fairway to go at the green. So
you've definitely got a chance.
But again, it's all about where, because these trees are big, mature trees.
I think.
And right here, it doesn't look like he's going to be real excited with that shot. But if he can run it down the left side.
I may head over to the right side here. We'll catch up with Aaron over there. We'll follow up right behind JD here.
I think the trees must have taken something off of that for Aaron because he's back there a little ways.
I'll move over to this side of the fairway. Don't want to be right in the middle of everybody hitting. Oh.
That's okay.
That was a bump.
That's okay.
Kind of look behind here and see if...
Try to give you a decent angle at where he ended up.
JD's probably actually kind of right, probably in the way where he wants to be.
And I was going to say, I don't know if this is where we exactly want to be, Keith. I think we need to get the trees a little more off the course. Just in case he works this way. Let's get around this tree. And he kind of looked over at us, and I wonder, is he coming this way, or is he going to run it down the left sideline of the trees? I wasn't 100% sure.
And I think that's what he ended up doing because, there is some gaps in these trees.
So he did run it down the trees. I just saw him kind of looking at us. And I thought, well,
we'll catch up to behind JD over here.
Yeah.
Not sure where the other drives went. Maybe a little bit further.
Yeah, there's one up by the blue stake and two right here. So
we'll just kind of sit between these two.
Yeah, I was going to say, you pull straight up, and I'll be at a perfect angle for all three of these shots.
All right, here we're good for you?
Yes, sir.
There we go. So this is hole number 2 of the Sioux Valley championships here on Sunday, brought to you by Central Bank. And after one hole in the first flight, Aaron Robinson, he's in the white shirt. Colin Mitchell in a blue shirt. And then we've got J.D. Anderson. He's in the green shirt here. He's in the championship flight, and he's facing off against Corey Matthey.
And we lost our camera here for a moment.
Is this USB plugged in all the way with the way everything's...
Yeah, he took me over that bump.
You can deduct that out of my pay.